Hello everybody. I've been blessed by our iRacing overlords and got access to iRacing Arcade a little bit early. So I'm just going to explore this sort of very early access to the game. It's sort of a very early preview build. And let's see what more this has to offer, because I played the demo, I put up a video, a lot of you guys seem to really like it. And yeah, I'm curious to see what more it has available. Alright, in we go. Oh, cutscene. Oh, interesting. This is different to the demo. Maple Ridge. This is also a different track. Licensing. Welcome to iRacing Arcade. To proceed the rest of the game, you must first pass the licensing exam. Beat the target lap time. Okay. Okay. 57.5 seconds is what we need. Maple Ridge. Obviously not a real track. I wonder if this is a track from their old sort of Circuit Superstars game. So we sort of mentioned this on the very first video, that the developers of this game are Original Fire Games, who made Circuit Superstars and Karting Superstars. And it's basically that game, but sort of with iRacing licenses put on top of it. I kind of never got into those games just because of the camera angle. I was never a big fan of the camera angle. It was sort of like top-down, fixed kind of situation that I wasn't feeling. So I think the behind the car GTA style is definitely better. Okay, there we go. First time. License acquired. I'm allowed to play. This video is brought to you by the YouTube area of my website. Check out every single video series I've done, categorized by game type, alongside chronological playlists and extra info at brovie.com/YouTube. Log in with your iRacing account with an active subscription to receive some goodies. Ooh, okay. Okay, so here we are. Free play, multiplayer, customization, replays, settings, exit. The only thing that's not in here supposedly is a career mode. That's not ready yet. And a few tracks aren't ready yet either, but from what I'm told, everything should be unlocked. So, free play or races. Okay, so we can select the number of races we do. Fiat 500. Okay, so I've got all the cars. We got the Fiat 500, Formula Junior, Formula 4, Formula GP, Porsche 911 GT3 Cup, that was in the demo, GTP, LMP2, and touring cars. Okay, so an interesting selection. I wonder how they'll all handle. We'll try each of them. Tracks. Damn, there's quite a few tracks, isn't there? Aragon, Barber, Imola, Mexico, Maple Ridge is the one we just played. I think that's an original one. Miami, Sugar Hill. I guess that's an original one too. Tsukuba, we did that in the demo. Bahrain, Lime Rock Park, Sachsenring, and Kyalami, Paul Ricard, and Knock Hill aren't available yet. They're not ready. So, do you know what? I'm going to go through. I'm going to do a little lap with every car on every track, and we'll experience all of it that it's got to offer. Let's have a look. We got multiplayer, create custom lobby, join lobby. Should I see if there's actually any lobbies? Oh, I've got to have a code. Okay. And then creating an online lobby is the same situation. So you just make choose the car, choose the track, invite people, I assume. Time attack options, customization, edit cars, edit drivers. Oh, okay, we can buy cars and hire drivers. Interesting. So that's where the monetization will come in, I guess. They'll keep adding more cars that you have to buy, maybe. Maybe you have to buy some of these. Let's see. Oh, okay, there we go. We got some different liveries. for the cars. What's on the Formula GP? Design, design, design. Okay. And can you... Okay, so then you can color the cars as well. You can change... Huh, okay. Seems like there's quite decent customization. I bet you can probably use all of these designs to make the F1 liveries. They look somewhat familiar if you get their colors right. Oh, it's stats for every car as well. Interesting. So that's customization. We got replays. I'll check that out because I'm curious about the replay system. And then settings, it looks like it's similar to what it was for the demo. Video, audio, extras. You can choose how many replays to save. Controls. Yeah, just your standard stuff. So, okay. Let's go into let's try every single track with every single car. I want to have the full experience. So, settings for the races. You can have 12 races. You can choose the AI difficulty. Ah, interesting. So that shows you the minimum and maximum AI difficulty in terms of numbers for each. So the minimum is 0 for amateur, and obviously maximum is 100. Okay. Starting order, qualify once, no qualifiers. I just want to experience the tracks. Race duration mode, laps or distance. Let's just do 1 lap for everything. Ghosting, tire wear, fuel consumption, damage from opponents. Oh, you can actually change all this. That's really good. So you can set different levels for the tire wear. I assume all of this is changeable for multiplayer lobbies as well. That means you can have some really interesting races and change it up so no 2 races are the same. Drafting, rubber band, keep that on. Keep rubber band on 0. You can really increase slipstream as well. All right. Okay. Interesting. I like this. See, that's what I like with stuff like this. Customization. That's why GTA is so good as a racing game, because there's just so much variety. Okay, I've decided to start with Bahrain in the Formula Junior. So we'll do each of the Formula cars first, I think. And then we'll just go through all the cars in order. But I figured Bahrain, it starts the Formula 1 season in many years, so it's fine to start with it here. Alright, Formula Junior. So the cool livery from that car in front. So we can look around with the right stick, left and right. I love the art style of iRacing Arcade. I think it's great. Like, it's meant to be an arcade racing game. It's what it's all about, just having a bit of fun with it. Accessible racing. You can just, you don't need to practice on a sim rig for 3 hours before you do a racing event or something. You can just jump in and have some fun races. Whether it's, multiplayer or single player with the AI. Okay, 3rd place first of all. Okay, now we're on Imola with the Formula 4. And then I think we'll do Miami in the Formula GP. Oh, I'm curious to see how it's going to feel different, the Formula 4, in comparison to the Formula Junior. Okay, we're definitely quicker off the line. Yeah, more grip, just faster in general. Very grippy. When I'm comparing it to the Porsche GT3 car from the demo, just a lot more grip. And that's what you want. You want the different cars to feel different and give a different racing experience. Grip. At the inside. Oh, I'm gonna finish 3rd again. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, 3rd again. The tracks look so good. I think it all looks really good, but I don't know, just like this small stylized cartoonish version of the tracks, but they're still accurate to the track layout. I like it. Okay, Formula GP at Miami. Let's see the difference. Oh, the sound! Oh my god, the sound is so good. They went for old school Formula 1 sounds, and it's all the better for it. This has got to be the best sounding car in the game immediately. And again, just sort of a step up from the Formula 4. It's grippier, faster. But again, still sort of manageable. You can still handle it. Oh, I can't get over that sound. Oh my god. Why doesn't Formula 1 sound like that anymore? Alright. Now we're into the LMP2s at Aragon. Got the GTPs after this. I'm skipping the Porsche because we've already driven it. And obviously we saw the Fiat 500 at the very start in the license test. So LMP2s. I will say the cars are all sort of very similar. Like, you know, the physics are the physics of the game. It's not... The differences in the way these cars drive isn't sort of, you know, an old school sports classic car in GTA versus a supercar or something. They're all quite similar, quite grippy. You've got to do the same sort of thing to be quick. But you've also got the proper, you know, you've got to do racing lines and things like that. I haven't won a race yet, even on amateur. Although it's getting used to the tracks, I suppose. But they all just feel good, though. That's the thing. We'll do a longer race, but I just wanted to go through every single track first of all. I want to show as much of this as possible to you guys so you can see what it's going to be like. Okay, GTPs at Mexico. Nice livery. Oh, I'm starting on pole position. Let's go. Oh, the sound. Such an interesting sound. I've definitely sort of lost interest with WEC and Le Mans with the balance of performance for the top class. I don't agree with it. It sounded great at the time having all these different cars in the top class, but balance of performance just ruins it for me. But I can still appreciate the cars. Yeah, slightly faster version of the LMP2, I suppose. But largely the same. Finally won one. Alright, touring cars at Sachsenring now. Let's see how different these might drive. I'm expecting these to be sort of the slowest apart from the Fiat 500 out of everything. Or maybe the Formula Junior would be slower than these. Okay, I can definitely notice less grip. But again, not that much. There are nuances to the different cars, but it's not massive. You will get different racing experiences, I think, but again, not to the level of, you know, what we see in GTA with the wide variety of cars and the different ways they all handle. Definitely slower in a straight line, these touring cars, as you would probably expect. Interesting. I think touring cars could be an interesting one. Felt like quite a good experience to race with. I'm so excited to be trying this multiplayer with all of you guys. Just do different lobbies with different tracks, different cars, different settings, tyre wear, fuel wear. Fuel wear? Fuel usage. So I'm going to stay in the touring cars for the last few tracks. Lime Rock Park, first of all. They look so good. Like the track, like just the. I know it's an arcade racing game, and it's cartoonish and stuff. But Original Fire Games have done a very good job making it look impressive. I am also really impressed with the tracks in general. Just how they are so like realistic to the real versions while also being cartoony smaller versions. Like it shouldn't be that good. Barber Motorsports Park now. Again, I'll just do a single lap. I want to show off everything that the game has in this build that I've got available. Again, it's a very early build. It's not the full game. It doesn't have the career mode stuff in it yet. I'm curious what the pricing is going to be. I feel like there's a decent, if there's a career mode as well, there's a decent amount of content, especially when you tie in the fact of being able to do multiplayer races. There's a decent amount of content straight off the bat. It just feels like the perfect arcadey racing game, honestly. Proper racing on proper tracks, but in a very easy, accessible and fun setup. Rip. Alright, Sugar Hill, the last one. I assume again that this is a track from Circuit Superstars, maybe? So there's two sort of original tracks, I guess you could say, and then the rest are all real-world circuits. I don't mind too much having a couple of originals, especially if they're from the original games. Like as a nod to the first games that this was based on. I think those original games obviously didn't have proper car licenses or anything, but they were largely very similar to what you're seeing from iRacing Arcade. A lot of people said how, wait, this looks just like Circuit Superstars. Well, yeah, because it's basically the same bones at least. But I much prefer this camera angle. Alright, so those are all the tracks and all the cars that at least I've got available. There are other tracks that aren't ready in this build, but let's do a longer race, and I'm going to be doing it in the Formula GP because holy hell, I need to listen to that again. So let's change the settings. Don't need qualifiers again. We saw the qualifying setup in the demo. Race duration, so let's do 5 laps. Let's put tyre wear and fuel consumption maxed out. See what the limit is. 500%. Okay. It's good that you can change damage as well, but I'll leave that 0 for now. And let's go back to Bahrain. Okay, let's see what this is like. I love that customizability of the settings for the races. I think that's what I want. I want to be able to have different multiplayer driving experiences with all you guys by changing the settings, sometimes having high tyre wear, low tyre wear, different lap counts, you know. Oh, that sound, I can't get over it. They did a great job with the sound. Okay, going back into this from the touring car, it's very different. So much faster, so much more grippy. I think the way that I did it, by doing the Formula cars first, and then like the LMP cars and stuff, probably didn't give me the best example of how different the cars are, because I was using sort of similar cars together. I'm not going to be catching the leader. And that's the thing, this is what I like about, this is what you need, I think. I've talked about this when in the first video. That it can be easy and accessible, like this is, to get in there and drive. But you can see that I've got a lot to learn. Even just against the middle of the road AI. I'm not quick enough. Did I get a slowdown for cutting the corner? Oh no, I'm out of fuel and oh my god, we're all out of fuel and tyres. We're all coming in the pits. Where's my pit box? Okay, there. We couldn't even make it 2 laps. Okay. Okay, I've gone before okay, I'm gonna run out of fuel again. I'm gonna run out of fuel again. I was thinking I'd just pit every single lap, but I've gone too early, so I can control when I go out of the pits. I think you could fuel save as well. I'm not using any fuel when I'm not on the throttle. That's really interesting. I've made errors. I've made significant errors. Okay, so some of the AI are pitting again. No, everybody's pitting again. Okay. Okay, maybe 500% fuel consumption and tyre wear was too much. Okay, I'll wait a bit longer now. This should at least get me around 1 lap, right? But this is what you want. Like, you want a game where it's accessible, but then there's a lot to learn. See the racing line getting put down. The rubber's getting put down on the racing line, I should say. Okay, I think I can make it another lap. 1 more lap. Everyone's coming in the pits. I can do a bit of fuel saving. Look at all these places gained. Fuel strategy for the win. I've got to make it to the end of the race though. Okay, I'm definitely fuel saving. I'm not going to make it, am I? I'm not going to make it. This was a mistake. This was a mistake. Mistakes have been made. Yeah, I'm not going to make it. Oh, no. Oh, this is good. Can I get a push? Can you just push me along? No? Oh, well, thanks. Whoa. Damn it. I spoke too soon. I was so happy gaining all those places from not pitting. Mistakes were made. Okay, so we're back at Mexico and we're back in the touring cars. I've decided to set 200% this time rather than 500% for both fuel and tyre wear. And it's a 10-lap race. So, probably closer to the sort of stuff we would do on stream for multiplayer races. But I want to see how 200% works on the tyres and the fuel. And have a bit of a longer race as well. But again, like that formula race we just did shows that there is this big skill gap. Like, I have a lot to learn about how to drive fast in this game, even though, you know, you can jump in and still drive, and it can be a lot of fun. And if you're not playing multiplayer, you can just set it to be, you know, the AI to be however you want. Okay, so 1 lap it looks like I've used about 25% fuel. See if I can get quicker. Can I get up into the lead? And with no qualifying, some of the better AI could be behind me. The tracks look so good. I know that this cartoonish style of racing won't suit everybody, but you know, it's an arcade racing game. It's not trying to be realistic simulation like proper iRacing. It's just for a bit of fun racing. And oh, he's cut the corner. Maybe I forced him off, but that's okay. Like, I would rather it be a bit more on the side of cartoonish, I think, so that you know that you're doing arcadey racing. I feel like if you had sort of these physics and this sort of game, but with totally realistic graphics, it wouldn't work. You know, you need to set the expectations right. But the thing that I like about this is the thing that makes me play. Okay, we're gonna get another lap on fuel. That's fine. It's the thing that makes me play and enjoy racing in GTA for all these years. It's the fact that you can do proper racing in an accessible way that's also got some variety to it. You still got to follow racing lines, and there's going to be nuances to figure out how to be quick in these cars, like there is with curb boosting and brake boosting and all the different things that make you go quicker in GTA racing. There's going to be that sort of stuff with this, just like there is in all forms of motorsport. Setups in real motorsport, for example. But you need that, I think. I think that's important. Alright. Let's fuel up. Tyre wear wasn't a problem. I didn't even think about it. When you've got 100% tyres, are you quicker? Do you have more grip? I didn't notice it, and it's difficult to notice those things when you're sort of not fully, like when it gradually goes, you sort of, your tyre wear gradually reduces, and you just get used to it every lap. I wonder if that is a thing. I'll have to try to pay attention and see if I'm suddenly quicker after the next pit stop, or suddenly have more grip. I think I've started to get a little better. I'm comfortably leading this time. I'm learning. I mean, it is still only middle of the road AI settings, not on the highest difficulty or anything, which is quite difficult, as we found out in the demo. But we're gonna have to make another stop. But that's the thing also with this. I imagine you'll be able to get some really good races once you figure stuff out and dial in the kind of fuel consumption you need and tire wear settings you need for a race. Like, you could totally host a race online where there's actually a bit of strategy to play with. You can't quite get sort of, like, if I'd set the fuel consumption to 220%, so I couldn't quite get 4 laps worth of fuel in this race. So I had to decide whether I, lifted a little bit and fuel saved on a few laps to be able to get those 4 laps, or I just came in after 3 laps and made an extra pit stop and went as fast as possible. Like, I only know that now that I've done it, and I've seen how many laps I can get in this car on this track with 200% fuel consumption. But as people learn all this kind of stuff, you'll be able to set up races where it's interesting like that. And I would totally be doing that for multiplayer races. And that's what you want. You want that variety. You want to be able to set that sort of stuff, so it's good to see those settings available. Because if it was just same car, same handling all the time, no variety in the kind of races you could do with that sort of stuff, I don't think it would be half as fun. Alright, we just made it. It doesn't feel like I'm any slower for having 20% tyre wear. Alright, I only need 2 laps of fuel, so I only need to go to like just over 50. I don't know if the AI are smart enough to realise that. I can't say I'm noticing having full tyre wear makes a difference to grip. It might, and as I get sort of better, maybe it'll become more apparent. Maybe it's more apparent on some of the other cars and not the touring cars as much. It would be good if that was the case, I think. Whoops, damn it. Because it feels like if that's not the case, then the tyre wear is more of a, I guess, a timer on when you have to pit. And then you would just make fuel consumption be the ultimate deciding factor, I suppose. I should test it. I'll test it in the next race. I'll put maximum tyre wear on, and I'll see what happens when I get to 0. But it doesn't feel like there's any sort of graduated grip differences. Which would have been nice, but it's not totally necessary. But also, I'm very new at the game, so there might be graduated grip differences, and I just don't know. Okay, well that was a better performance. Bit of a longer race. Okay, we're back at Imola, Formula 4, but I've put 500% tyre wear. Fuel consumption's not going to be a problem in comparison to the tyre wear, I imagine. Not using any tyres. Ah, look at that. Okay, interesting. Tyre wear only happens when we're actually in the corners. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but I didn't think it would be that detailed. So on the straights, if you're not turning, you're not using any tyres. I should have set fuel consumption off or something to test this properly. I didn't realise. Yeah, let me just use up all the tyres. So I wonder if you can save tyres then. You must be able to. Just try to turn less. I imagine though, you know, at a higher level of racing on this, you probably need to be sort of smooth and turning as little as possible anyway, maybe. Or maybe you have to turn a lot to be fast, and you can go a little bit slower to get more tyre life. Again, nuances like this are what makes games like this interesting to me. If it was just all the same, no tyre wear, no fuel consumption, wouldn't be half as interesting. Okay, they're all coming in the pits because of tyres. I've run out of tyres. What does this mean? What's gonna greet me at the first corner? Okay, I mean, so I can't deny that it is a little more slippy than normal, but look at the time I've gained by not pitting. I'm so far ahead. I'm going to have to pit for fuel, but then they're going to have to pit for their tyres, because they're just designed to. I assume I've lost time. So you must lose grip over... That's the... I don't know whether you'll lose grip... There's definitely a grip difference when I've hit 0. What I don't know and I can't really tell is whether there's a grip difference, say, between 150 or 130. If I'm going slower with less tyres, or I only start going slower once I run out of tyres completely. That's what I can't really tell. But I mean, look at the gap I've gained by not pitting. Like, it was still totally manageable to drive around on 0 tyres. It's going to be a different story on better AI, I imagine, and in multiplayer lobbies, I would suppose. And I think I was getting caught up by the AI anyway, but it wasn't anywhere near as bad as it, you know, maybe perhaps should have been for running out of tyres completely. Running out of fuel is a lot worse. Let's put it that way. Easy win. One-stop strategy. Tyre whisperer. This is the sort of thing we'll have to play around with a lot when the game comes out. With the multiplayer races we do. We can play around with it all, figure it all out. See what settings work the best. It's just nice to have the option there. Okay, so we've seen all of the tracks, all of the cars. We've seen sort of how the settings play out. Multiplayer is just the same thing, but in a multiplayer situation. Let's dive a bit deeper into the customization and the replays before I end this. Replays. So these are all the races I've just done. I guess it just saves them automatically. I'm curious how what this is like. How good is it? Oh. Player, TV, look at, and free. TV. Huh. And then, oh, we got... Do you know what? I've wanted a free cam in GTA races for spectating for, well, since like 2015. Okay. I don't know what the ticking is. But again, this is a very early build, so maybe that won't be there. Look, we got TV cam. You can change who you... yeah. Okay. I think... I wouldn't... do you know what? I don't think I expected this. I don't think I expected a proper replay functionality with TV camera, free camera, all that kind of stuff in a small-scale arcade game like this. Like, this is cool. This is going to make stuff really interesting. Can you imagine we have a great race with arcade racing online, iRacing Arcade online? After a really tight race, really fun, and then we're able to watch it back and have some replay shots. I'd like to be able to hide the UI. That doesn't seem like it's possible. Hiding the UI would be nice. It's really good. It's genuinely really good. I'm genuinely surprised. That's so good. Okay. So it saves all the replays just by default for your last few races. I guess it doesn't seem like there's a way to necessarily save them permanently. There is an option to save number of replays to save, and you can change the amount up to 30. But I guess if you're going to... maybe there'll be an option in the final game to be able to save a replay permanently or something. Because I imagine when you get to, say, 10, and you've got it set to 10, your 11th one will overwrite the first one. So being able to save them permanently would be useful. Alright, so before we finish, I want to do a little bit of checking out of the customization. Let's edit. We'll leave that design, and then let's see about changing the colors. So the red, yeah, there it goes. Make that black. Where's this blue at? Okay, here we go. See if I can get a Ron livery. It's a little too bright, I think, but this should be orange, I think. It's good to see this customization. You know, you're just going to be able to make the cars look however you want them to look. There is definitely that sort of iRacing DNA in here, in that sort of stuff, in terms of the customization of the cars, the design, the replay stuff. It's like it is really like iRacing Arcade. Like, if it's a good name for the game, because that's kind of what it is. It's an arcade version of iRacing. Okay, let's put the saturation, and then see if I can get something similar to a Ron blue. There, maybe. Not quite, but close enough for now. We'll change this one. Let's make that one black as well, just for easiness. You can even change the wheel color. So you can make the cars as nice or as ugly as you want, probably. And then there's all the stats from how I've used it. Interesting. So it remains to be seen sort of what it's going to be like in terms of the... we'll edit driver too. Okay, different... you have different sponsors, I guess, on your... Well, and it is different design for your race suit. Different helmet designs. Cool. Different visor colors as well. I mean, considering it shows your sort of avatar, your driver, at the end when you're well, on the podium and stuff like that, it makes sense that you can customize it to look how you want. You can change the colors, of course. Makes total sense that you can change everything like that. Different poses. I wonder what I unlocked by having my iRacing subscription linked. They never told me. Winning poses, I guess. This is what happens. This is what you do when you win. Again, it makes total sense. It remains to be seen how the game's going to be monetized. I guess you're going to be able to buy new cars as they release them. My hope would be that it's just like one cost for the game, and then most of it is included. But we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. That's yeah, that's it. That's iRacing Arcade. That's my initial take on it, at least. The career mode, like I said, isn't part of this early access build, and there's a few tracks, like I said, that also aren't available. Kyalami, Paul Ricard, and Knock Hill. So apart from those things, I think most of it is here. But we've seen a lot. I'm genuinely excited for it to come out early December. I think it is. I'm gonna be getting it. I'm gonna be playing it. We'll do some multiplayer races. We'll have some fun. We'll figure out some interesting settings. And then the beauty of something like this is that you can also, you can have proper races of, say, well, what's the maximum lap count? Yeah, 99 laps, or 99 kilometers, 40 kilometers. So you can have proper long races with really intricately worked out tire wear and fuel consumption. So there's actually a interesting balance of, should I pit or save fuel or save tires or something like that, and it might all come together by the end. But then you can also have wacky races where it's 500% tire wear or 500% fuel consumption, and you just see what happens. You just throw something at it. Like, that's the beauty of something like this. An arcade racing game should have all these different options to create fun races, but also have some proper racing as well. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Let me know what you think about it down below. Is there anything else that you want to see? I think I've showed everything that I have the ability to show. But if you want to see anything else from what you've seen here that I didn't cover well enough or something, I can maybe do a follow-up video if you let me know in the comments. But I mean, the game's going to be out in a few weeks anyway. And obviously the career mode will be the main aspect of that, to see what that's like. But yeah, we'll definitely be doing some multiplayer races in this when it comes out. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know all your thoughts about iRacing Arcade down below. And I'll see you next time.